We're gonna do it. This is P.
Yo,
How you feeling, man?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Not feeling as good as you.
You know how we do it. Yeah! 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 Bruce! What's goody, Pop?
What's good?
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate what you do for me, letting us come in here, letting us rock. As you can see, my man just called. We got a special guest. We got a new guy here. What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Let me hear something. Let me hear how you doing,
New
man.
fish, new fish.
Yes. What's going on with you?
I mean, I might be a new fish, but you know, I've been around the block. You know, been around the way.
Let them know who you are. Where you from? What's going on? I want to know everything that's going on.
All right. Well, I'm David grew up in Atlanta.
Yes.
Little transplant up here, so
Yeah.
diehard Falcons fan. Just
Boom.
throw that out there. Get
How'd that
out the
happen?
way.
How'd that happen?
Oh man, when I was a little kid, man, just watching Deion Sanders sitting there playing for the Falcons.
Oh, you go way back.
Oh yeah, man. I was that prime Falcons, Braves era, man. 90s.
Oh, wow. Braves.
You know, we talking about 91, 92, 93, just watching them just dominate, you know. Having to watch that MLB lockout was a horrible thing for me. I'm like, yo, we on a run here. How you going to do this to us?
Wow.
Back in the day where you couldn't go to a Falcons game, you know, and get free tickets just standing outside the stadium because nobody wanted to go.
I feel like those days are again now. No?
Whoa. First off, sir.
Let me hear something.
Okay, no. Okay.
No? Not as bad?
They'll get Kirk Cousins out the way.
Okay.
I mean, you know, Penix is going to come in and take care of things.
Boom.
I think, you know, we're a pass rusher away from having a solid team and being able to take care of the NFC South.
Okay.
Bijan, they got Bijan.
Okay.
You know, we got a stacked line. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We have pieces in place. And I feel like with Raheem Morris, we'll actually make some things happen. They already got rid of the defensive coordinator.
Who's in that division?
We got the Buccaneers, the Aints.
Well, they might not be the Aints.
No,
if
they
Moore's going
will
down there.
they'll always be the Aints.
Okay.
Period. End of story. And the Panthers. So I mean, this year, outside of some questionable coaching calls, we should have taken the NFC South.
Okay.
Period. Point blank.
Boom.
That's not saying
Now
a
whether
lot.
whether or not
Winnable
I didn't.
division,
Okay,
winnable
yes,
division.
definitely a winnable division. But in the grand scheme of things, I didn't say we're gonna make a deep playoff
Yeah.
run with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
but
yeah.
Baby steps.
we should have at least been on the radar and at least gotten that extra couple of practices, extra
Boom.
couple, you know what I mean, that experience for the team. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
You know, I'm excited about this upcoming
My
season.
man Davis in the building. And then this guy, I was gonna go with 3. And
Wow,
then you
impressive.
kinda said, yo, I got something to say.
I'm excited. It was
What's
a good
going on
weekend.
with you, man?
Active in the chat.
Well,
You
first,
said you
episode 68.
Okay.
Episode of the mullet.
Who's 68?
Yamir Yager and the IROC with the mullet.
The Yaga.
Is
Spent a
that
little
is that
time.
is so
That's as
there's
good as
no
it gets.
dispute.
That's
Nah.
as good as it gets. For
That's
The
68.
mullet.
The
Well, let
mullet.
that rock. I'm like looking at the picture. I'm like, who is that? So that's
The mullet, the ladies, Yaga.
The Razor Oakley sunglasses from back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
so
mean,
what's up with you, man?
Man, you just had such a good time last time. Couldn't wait to come back. You know,
Yeah.
just watching sports is different now. It's like, ooh, I want to talk about that. Ooh,
You
I
fired
want to
up.
talk about that.
You
Yeah,
got-
get
you got a
fired
lot
up.
of
The
stuff on your
trades,
chest.
Everything going on. Everything going on.
Well, I'm gonna take the back seat today because my man here, P.
what's up?
How was the drive-through today, man?
Drive-through. You know, there's always issues. The only thing I hate, this is my drive-through rant all the time. You know, they get the double lanes to go in, and you pull in one lane, they're waiting, someone pulls in the next lane, all of a sudden you hear them taking their order. I'm like, what the fuck? I was already here.
Yes. So
That was my drive-through issue today.
So you feel like there's no real system. They just whoever's there or whatever's
Right,
going on.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, I was here. Why would you?
Why are you skipping me? How
You
much
know,
longer
but
did you
as-
have to wait though?
As Joe Pesci said, they fuck you in the drive-through. They wait till you're gone.
I think the worst is somebody buying lottery tickets in the gas station.
Why are you saying that?
The folks that be buying them scratch-off tickets, man.
They're crazy.
You always be trying to get in and out. Let me get my
Damn.
little coffee, and then they be like, "Yeah, let me get number 13. How much I got on this ticket? Let me get 2 number 10s."
And then they want to run, play lottery too. The
Keno, too.
Keno.
You know,
Oh.
they're like,
here's my
Filling
ticket.
out their slip.
They're looking at the screen. Go get my ticket in before the round starts.
Do you
Yeah.
think there's something going on with them psychologically?
Yeah, got
Are they-
handed at the right moment.
Are they got the
take it
shakes
out.
if they don't get their numbers
Yo,
in?
there's at the Pick and Pay near my house.
Yes.
There is a TV that faces outside to the parking lot.
Wait,
and
what?
Cats will park outside in
And
the
just
car
watch the TV.
and watch the keynote.
That's crazy. And you can do it on your phone now too, so you don't even need to be there, so people can sit there
So,
and, like,
so,
you
it's,
know, on
so,
their
so,
phone. just
so
sitting
it's
there.
all about the numbers. Is that what we're
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
Speaking of numbers,
Yeah.
did we see the score? The score? Nah, I ain't gonna go there
Not
yet.
yet? Not yet? Oh.
What we talking about, P? Let me hear something.
It's the first part of this is probably wide open, but we're talking NBA trades.
Let's
Trades?
talk a little
Okay.
trades. Yeah, I mean, who would have? Did anybody see that? It's amazing to me.
Yes.
That the executives were able to keep that under wraps.
Okay.
How
Okay.
did- like,
Okay.
no
Yeah,
one
we
saw
gonna
that
get
coming.
into it. We
No
gonna
one
get
saw it
into it.
coming.
We're just doing the introductions right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Where we at? Where are we at?
We are the Ave.
What's it? On is it Atwood or Hartford?
Hartford.
Hartford.
Yeah,
it's the
corner
corner of
of Atwood
Atwood.
and Hartford.
Hartford and Atwood.
1428.
1428 Hartford Avenue in Johnston. Like you heard me shout him out earlier. Bruce let me in.
You gotta come down here and check this out.
What's going on down here?
Because it all depends on what things
Tonight
you like.
they got trivia though, right? Tonight's trivia.
Tonight is tacos, tequila, and trivia.
Okay.
$3 tacos, $6 mugs. Last night you missed a wing night.
Wing
Monday
night.
nights, half
Monday
price
night's
wing
wing
nights,
night.
boneless bites.
Okay.
Wednesday nights they have R&B night, the half price ribs, and music bingo. It starts at 7. Everything usually starts at 7 in this place. Thursday night, country night, line dancing. I know you like that. You're a big Travis George Strait fan.
Am I?
Man, I'm gonna have to get my
Yeah,
boot
right.
scooting boogie on. You know what I'm saying?
Boot scooting buggy.
Lex rocking the Daisy Dukes out there on the floor. I see that.
Wow, that image, I just like,
I don't know
wow.
about the daisies. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
That starts at Thursday nights at 7.
Yo.
Friday night, we know about this DJ night.
Yes.
DJs from all over New England, some from Pawtucket.
Yes.
Starting at 9.
9.
That's a good time. And Saturday night, karaoke.
Okay. You'll never find.
Another love like mine.
We're doing it live from the Ave, episode 68. Is it how you say it?
Yarmir Yaga. The Yaga.
We in the paint. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back, and my man Scotty's gonna drop some jewels on y'all. Come back, Kings.
Who saw it coming? I didn't see it coming.
I thought I did.
You did? You saw it coming? You smelled
Oh wait,
something?
we're not talking about that.
Oh, no, you're not talking about that. Not yet, not yet, not yet,
I'm
not
fired
yet.
up. I'm fired up.
Luka Doncic. Top 5 player. Top 5 player, easily. No? Am I wrong there?
No.
No, he's up there.
Yo, I woke up in the middle of the night, and I went to the bathroom, and like, it's my ritual. I just jump on my phone. I probably shouldn't be on my phone, but I see my phone, and I'm looking. I go, this can't be real. So I'm like double checking, because you know how
Yep.
it's so much fake news and
Yeah.
everything going on.
Clickbaits.
And I'm
just
like,
hit it.
wait, they're saying it, then they're saying it, and I'm like, wait, what just happened?
It's real.
What do you think happened?
You know, it's a couple things. I think that in Dallas, it was Cubes in Dallas that really loved Doncic, and a lot of the other execs in Dallas were just not happy with Luka's conditioning, so that had a lot to do with it. They wanted him to play at 245. He showed up at 265. And all these little nagging injuries that keep bouncing back year after year, that's centered around conditioning.
Wow.
And you know, NBA players, they have a long season. They treat their bodies like a temple.
Yeah.
You look at LeBron, you look at
Boom.
Kobe,
I feel
look
you.
at guys like that. Their body is sculpted, perfect, masterpiece.
Yes.
Everything they put in. And then you have Luka, has all this talent. He's playing a little
He's not in the
heavy,
best
He's
shape.
not in the best shape. I mean, don't take away his skill, but from what I understand, you know, you're going to get supermax deals that Dallas just wasn't comfortable with his level of conditioning.
Can I jump in? Can I
Sure,
jump in?
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm rocking with you until you tell me the guy that they brought in for him. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You mean the
missed
one
the
that's
injury.
already out
Yeah.
for 4 weeks?
I'm rocking with you if you're saying we can't deal with him, his conditioning, but then you bring in sloppy. Nah, let me not disrespect the man.
Yeah.
No.
But come on, man.
He's
But I mean,
plays-
AD's had injuries since college.
And if you really want to break it down, has Luka had as many injuries? Has he been out as much as AD? If I had to guess, no way.
I looked at the numbers and they're just about even.
Oh,
the amount
wow.
of playing time, it's
Wow.
I think Luka might have a little bit more availability than AD did.
Like a little bit.
But I think it's more not just of, it's like a choice thing, you know, because with Luka it's conditioning and he has the ability to kind of to work harder. You know, with Anthony Davis, I think, you know, he's just a 7-footer. He's,
Yeah,
you know, that
yeah,
7-footer
no,
disease.
it just comes
to
him,
Just
yeah.
comes with a 7'2" guy.
It
You're gonna
comes with
have
that
the
frame.
foot, the knees, the ankles, the never, you know. Look at Porzingis, you know, look at all these guys. You know, it's a problem.
But also too with AD, I mean, he won a national championship in college. you
Okay.
know, with Kentucky. So like they ran that season through. So he was playing real hard under Calipari, day in and day out.
You think it's miles? He has more miles on him.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Who's that cat that came out? Oh, he looked like he was 40 a few years back.
Odin? Greg Oden?
Greg Oden.
Greg Oden.
Yes.
He played nothing. He didn't.
No.
He,
I felt
he
that
didn't even have a
exactly
cup
what
of
you're
coffee.
saying. That happened to him. Like,
A 7-footer disease. It's like that
Yeah,
thing.
it's
like,
your body's not supposed to be that tall, that big, and someone like Shaq that's managed, but he kept the weight on too.
Yeah.
Like he had the muscle. I guess maybe that helps him.
Shaq.
did
yeah,
you see
was
Shaq at
was
the
just
end
a
though?
Bigger guy.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
no. At the end, but to be able to play as long as he did.
Okay, I
he
rock
was
with you.
he was solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just wasn't a skinny dude.
He wasn't just tall. He was just massive.
He wasn't like a
everywhere.
Matumbo or
Yeah.
something like that.
Same thing with Dwight Howard. You know, just a bigger guy,
Yeah.
not just tall, but just big. So he
It was
able to carry
evenly
that.
proportioned.
Yeah, evenly proportioned.
I give you that. Who else? I think you said the Fox cat moved somewhere?
Yeah, the Spurs did a little action. They got De'Aaron Fox. They pulled De'Aaron Fox from the Kings. Kings, there was a 3-team trade that was involved Chicago as well. Zach LaVine ended up in with the Kings.
Okay.
With City Sissoko too, but in a ton of picks. The Kings went and got a ton of picks. So they just, you know, Fox has talent, but I guess
I
they
like
weren't
the
taking
Fox cat though.
Love Fox. I love Fox.
He's a
too.
quiet sniper.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Plays D, moves his feet. You know, it's.
Why? Okay, so
But
I'm
now
gonna
you got-
ask you, why get rid of him? Why is he out of there?
I just don't think they saw the pieces. They, you know, you got to look. I think with the NBA too. Do you have what it takes to win the championship now? And if you don't have that combination or a close combination of that, you kind of mortgage what you have now
Tough.
to plan for the future. To see, okay, so we look towards the next 5 years. Do we have a window to win in the next 5 years? Because
Yeah.
we don't have enough to compete at the moment. Mortgage what we have now. See if we can set ourselves up for the next run at the title.
Yeah.
And that's what I think the Spurs are doing. Now they have Wembanyama and Fox, so they got to quietly get a little core going.
Is Wimbiana gonna have that 7-foot disease that you're talking about? Cause he looks like he has that kind of frame.
It's exactly that kind of frame, but
I mean,
so
if
far.
he puts a little weight on. I mean, he might be able to stick it out for a while. But I mean, they've
Do you
always
see him eating chicken?
Hey, but I
I
mean,
don't know. He has to eat.
but San Antonio's always had big guys, and
Yeah.
they've always had endurance and longevity. So I don't know what they're doing in San Antonio.
Yeah.
If it's the water, you know, but they seem to keep these bigs going for a long time.
That river walk down there in San Antonio.
You
keeps
think so?
Exactly. But
Who else? What else is going on?
But
Go
going
ahead,
back
go
to the
ahead,
Luka
Pete,
thing,
go ahead, Pete.
we understand why Dallas might want to move him. Why would the Lakers want him? It's
Move AD.
just a future move, because yeah, you don't have. He's not a center. You don't have a dominant center anymore. You got two guys that basically need the ball.
yeah.
They, you know what I mean? Kind of the same position,
think with-
same player.
Los Angeles, it comes down to the number first.
Are
Showtime.
they planning? Are they planning? They taking the chance of planning for LeBron retiring, and now they'll have
Oh, absolutely.
Luka.
Yeah.
I don't think
So-
Bron needs the ball though. Are you? I know how you feel about Bron. We'll get on that. But I don't think he needs. I honestly believe he'd rather defer.
Yeah.
That's just my
Oh,
opinion.
he's always been like that.
That's my point.
but he's still-
Luka needs the ball. That's why another reason why I think Luka wanted out of Dallas that they're not talking about. Because I don't think he gelled with the Kyrie cap. That's just my opinion.
Kyrie loves the ball.
Kyrie
anybody
loves the
gel with
ball.
Kyrie?
Loves the ball.
You can't say that about Bron. I don't know.
No.
Does anybody gel with Kyrie?
I'm rocking with you.
Yeah.
I'm rocking with you.
If you go to the huddle, like before the game started last night, I watched a few things. Bron leaned over, looked at Luka, and said, "Go do what you do.
Do what you
Don't
do."
try to fit in. go do what you do, and it's gonna work.
That's what I feel. So,
But I also feel like LeBron and AD's relationship soured.
ooh,
Oh, there,
where
yeah.
you grabbing that?
Because I mean, you
from?
can't have two superstars on the
Alphas.
same, and be on the same team. So that's why it was so quiet.
Well, I think
Because what you gonna do? You're gonna move AD out, keep LeBron happy. You bring Luka in and say, all right, here's your piece to make it happen. So
Didn't LeBron bring Davis in? Didn't LeBron help facilitate?
Yeah, but
bringing
that
him
means
in? Or
nothing.
That
That
just changes over the
It
years.
means like it's how can I explain it? You're dating this chick, you're feeling her in the beginning.
right.
You feel me? Then after a while, you're like, I don't like the way her feet look. You feel me?
Especially since she's 7'2". She
Yeah.
has some big feet.
Exactly, man. What else you
And
got,
there was
Scotty?
a-
Go ahead,
there was
go
a-
ahead.
no, there was
I'll
a
keep
thing-
messing up. Go ahead,
There was a
baby.
thing I think I sent you about AD talking about the all-time GOAT player,
Ooh.
and he,
Little sneak disses.
yeah, little sneak disses, and then there was another thing about them.
What did he say? I didn't hear that.
Oh, I'd have to find it, but it was definitely a diss. Like he definitely was not saying LeBron was the GOAT because he's a Jordan guy. I think.
And I do think
Thank
Bron
you.
takes that personal.
And then there was the other thing with I guess they did the rookie hazing to his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
On the
Davis
bench,
still
when he
the
came
bench.
down, when he came walking down, he was like, "Move, Rook."
Yeah.
And his father sitting right there, and Bronny gets up and moves. At the moment, Bron looked like he was cool with it,
Yeah.
but I
Who
get
knows?
what
That
you're
might
saying.
be a lot of
Yeah.
little things.
Little things. And then I think what you said also when he said, like about a couple weeks ago, I think we need another big.
Yeah, Bron said that.
Yeah. That's a jab. That's a little jab.
So yeah, there must have been a lot of little things.
Yeah. So, all right.
Last thing worth touching on.
Go ahead, baby.
I mean, Jimmy Buckets, Moose.
I can't deal with this guy, man. I'm being honest. He's one of these guys to me. Give me your thoughts, and I'll circle the block. I just can't rock with him,
He's
man.
got talent. He can score the bucket. He can play D, rebounds, works hard, but he's just behind, just a little. I don't want to use the C word because that's not, you don't want to call that out. But he chips away at the team, and I think people, start to just get worn on by his attitude and his, the way he works. And well, we saw how Miami's going to be without him. So last night,
Yeah.
Celtics took care of that pretty easily.
Smacked him up.
Yeah, with a Sam Hauser.
Tatum looked crazy.
Yeah,
But he always,
he's got it.
I had to concede to you guys. I started watching him after the last podcast. I'm like, yeah. He might be he's the guy.
He's a quiet,
He's a quiet guy.
30-point guy.
Quiet
Like
30. Quiet 30, 10, and 6, That's there's no-
somehow he's just. It's not. I don't know. He just goes under the radar like that.
And I'm going to say this. This is going to come full circle because the Hurts is the same thing. Maybe this is how these guys are built now. Maybe I'm being old school where I want my guys to be the Kool-Aid man and run through the brick wall, and that shows me that, okay.
Yeah.
But these guys are different now. They're more like, yeah, we got this, daddy. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm
Those are
saying?
different personalities. Like look at Jeter when he was with the Yankees.
Yeah.
He led, but he wasn't
Real
a rah-rah
smooth.
leader.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
just did his job the way it was supposed to be done, and everybody just saw him and followed.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know. I'm still torn with this, with these new guys, how they are.
But it works if you have, because like you're saying, the alpha males, 2 alpha males, but it's been proven now in the NBA, not even 2 is enough. You need 3.
Yeah.
Sometimes 3, and then the fourth
That
one
fourth guy.
be a A2.
Yeah.
It's like you need the combination. You need to be able to work those personalities together. The coaching job's never been harder than what it is now.
Yeah.
But
Luka, did anybody see that last night?
No.
I saw a
was
little
working.
bit of it. He looked all right.
I watched the highlights and stuff.
He looked
He didn't shoot well.
for
5-14.
but that's what for his first game though.
Yeah.
He had a couple nice dimes. He fed LeBron that 50-foot court-long pass off the rebound. He had a couple nice, fallaways, his traditional in the paint, step back, undefendable shot. So he had a couple of those too, of the shots that he did make. But
And I said this off camera. If they gel, which is a possibility, that's a problem in the West. Are they not beating OKC or the Nuggets? Maybe, I don't know.
oh, OKC is on a
They
tear.
they look crazy until the playoffs come around, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're talking about 5-14 against Utah.
Okay. I'm rocking with you.
12 win
I'm
Utah.
rocking with you.
You know,
I do think Luka will get cooking, though. You don't think he'll get cooking?
I think it's to be seen.
Okay.
You know, like you said, OKC is on the tear. They're coming through. The Nuggets.
Didn't
the
they do
Nuggets
this
are
last
hard.
year? OKC did this last
Yeah,
year.
then they disappeared, in the playoffs, lost to Dallas. Just nobody saw that.
I didn't see that. I didn't see what Minnesota did. I had no clue about Minnesota, to be honest, last year.
And how's that whole trade going down with the trade, the preseason trade
With Cap,
Yeah.
to the Knicks
Knicks,
look
yeah.
tough. They look tough.
Randall's done nothing in Minnesota. That's kind of bit him.
So that leads me to also, I'm getting carried away. As much as we as fans think, this looks crazy, these guys know something. They
Yeah.
might know something. There's a reason why they're getting $1 million paycheck sometime, but whatever, man. What else we talking about, baby?
You want to talk about NFL honors?
Go ahead, do your dance. Let me hear something. I don't know how I feel about the Lamar, Josh Allen thing.
Yeah, that's the MVP award went to Josh Allen. Everybody knows that now.
Yeah.
Was this a lifetime achievement award type thing? Did they give it to him? I'm hearing a lot that he was definitely the MVP of his team compared to Lamar, that's true. He definitely was
I
more
rock with
important
you.
to his
I
team.
rock with that.
But is the MVP supposed to be the MVP of the league or the MVP of your team?
Well, I mean, I think he got capped because of Derrick Henry. I mean, Derrick Henry had a great season this year. So that took the spotlight off of Lamar, in my opinion, and gave it more to Josh Allen. I don't agree with it because, I mean, the stats that Lamar put up, I mean, he beat Josh Allen in
Every stat.
essentially every
Almost
stat.
every stat.
So just because you got Derrick Henry on your team, you get penalized for that?
Well, if they did it right, probably Lamar shouldn't have won last year. So they probably could have been able to give it to him.
This is that makeup thing that I hate.
Well, there's the theory too out there.
Go ahead.
Same voters that vote for the All-Pro vote for the MVP. So some people are thinking that they almost decided in their head, okay, if we're gonna give
We're gonna give it to this guy for this.
give Lamar the All-Pro, then we'll give Allen the MVP. That's a way of splitting it up. When really it's the same award. It should go to the same guy. But
Yeah.
in their head, they're gonna say, we're so close here. We'll give one to one guy, one to the other guy. Same voters.
What else? Who else got what?
Offensive Player of the Year, obviously Saquon. I think we all kind of
We called that
figured
one.
that.
When they make a Madden move middle of the season and add it to the game because of something you did in a game, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
Remember when EA Sports? What was their thing? It's in the game.
It's in the game.
They need to bring that back. That was dope.
That was-
What were you right about? You were right about something.
Oh, we're talking about the coach of the year. Coach of
Yes.
the year. I said Kevin O'Connell from Minnesota. If you do what he did with Sam Darnold as your quarterback, that's pretty good.
What is the deal with Sam? Why cats be hating on Sammy D like that?
Sammy
we-
D.
Because we saw him I'm seeing ghosts. I'm seeing ghosts. We saw him playing for the Jets.
Is he not? Was he never the guy?
Could be the Jets.
That's his problem. Like he's not. He probably was never a bad quarterback.
Yeah.
He was probably at a decent level. He's over it this year. I don't know how they managed to change things up so much in Minnesota and then still put those numbers up. But he got the bad rap. Everybody goes to the Jets to die.
Wow, is that what you're
He
saying?
took a Hall of Fame quarterback
Yeah.
and he couldn't do it.
They let
There's
him
something
go,
of-
too. They told him this week.
Yeah.
We're not having you back.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but also though, even with Kirk Cousins, if we're gonna talk about dying, I ruptured my Achilles tendon
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it was today 2 years ago.
Okay. Happy
Try-
anniversary.
Thank you, thank you. But recovering from that is one of the hardest. Like I can run, but
It's not the same.
I'm not an NFL player. But I mean, trying to relearn, it's like having to relearn how to walk. Like me running now, I look like a goofy 16-year-old girl running around now. Where I was a track.
I used to
ran
look like
track in
look
high
like that all my life.
but like it's one of the hardest injuries to come back from. So I mean, for him to do that in such a fashion, game one.
Who?
Aaron Rodgers on the Jets, and then had to recover. I mean, that thing snapped. we all saw it.
He was coming back the year before. That's how great his regimen is. That's how his healing crystals work.
I thought he had the secret.
Ayahuasca, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, but I mean,
You like Aaron Rodgers?
Nah, I can't. I'm not gonna go that far. But I'm just saying.
He's like,
as
I'll
far
give him
as
some credit for the coming back from the injury.
right. But I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, he's had a career. You know, will he probably be a Hall of Famer? He's close up there. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, to see him, I would have liked to see him had he stayed healthy. If he'd have done something with the Jets, then that would have solidified his career for me. But you know, you've had 2 years. You've had a lot of off-season antics, not communicating with the team, disappearing for a month. Nobody knows what's going on. I'm sorry, that's not the sign of a leader for me.
Making them bring in your coach, who getting the head coach Salah fired.
Your support players.
Bringing your players in that shouldn't be playing.
All right, we know all of this. Is he still playing next year? Where is he going? If he is, or is he done?
There's a couple teams, I think, that might be willing to take a shot.
Who's biting at this?
Tennessee needs a quarterback.
Ooh.
Tennessee needs a quarterback.
The Browns front office is always looking for a
What about the Raiders? Pete Carroll taking over there.
Is he
Tom
bringing-
Brady owns it? Could Tom talk to Aaron? Hey, you want to come in here?
So you're saying there's some suitors because quarterback is hard to come by,
It's hard to come by.
and you're gonna give this guy a shot again.
He's still top 20 in the league. You're gonna find 20 people on the planet better than him at quarterback.
Awful. I can't believe this is the state that we're in.
But I say I don't know if I want him coming in ruining the culture of the team.
True.
That's my thing. He may have talent. He may be better than the quarterback you have. But is he going to pull all the shit he did with the Jets?
Yes, he will.
just knew it.
Will
Yes,
he make your
has.
team better? Will
But
he make your team
I
better?
think that's where Kirk Cousins comes into play.
Ooh, so you're saying
I
Curdy,
think that puts it. That
Curdy's
makes his
a better
hand-
look.
It makes his hand stronger. I'm not saying he's a better look, but I mean it
if you
makes
don't
his
have to
hands.
deal with all of this extra stuff,
Yeah.
He comes in, he plays his
he
season.
puts his nose down.
Atlanta's on the hook for his contract anyway.
Yep.
So, I mean, Atlanta's got to do something with him.
They're gonna have to.
I can't say after the season I'm a big fan of this damn contract. 4-year, $180 million. Like,
Yeah, you're gonna eat that.
we're roughly, I think it's like 25-30 million in dead cap space for him this year. So, you know, but you trade him out.
Get him out
If you
of
can
there.
move him and then you get stuff back and move forward with Penix, right?
I mean, yeah. I really want to see.
You're convinced with the Penix cap, no matter what.
I mean, at this point, Kirk Cousins had a shoulder injury when he played New Orleans. Nobody knew about it. Now, I'll be following the Falcons week in, week out.
Yeah.
Nobody knew nothing about this shoulder injury. So now, after the season's over, you start running your mouth at the Super Bowl like, oh, yeah, I had a shoulder injury. That's grounds to void the contract if the team didn't know about it.
Yeah, but most of the time they know about that shit.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, they
right,
keep it on the refs
but it's the
themselves.
way. It's the way because if he had a shoulder injury, then why were the Falcons not in the playoffs running with Penix? Because we lost 4 games, and those 4 games were horrible. I mean, he threw what? I won't like 7, 8 interceptions.
Yeah.
Over those 4 games, one of them, I mean, it was like 4 interceptions in one game.
And you have the tools too. You have a great running back behind you. You have an alpha receiver, so you have the tools to work with. It's not like you putting him out there with nothing, like a Drake May situation, where like, okay, you understand, you forget some things because of nothing around him. But Atlanta's got some tools.
Come on, he was a Pro Bowl player, Drake May. Made the Pro Bowl this year.
All right, wait, we're drifting.
All right,
Who else was the honors? Who else?
All right, Defensive Player of the Year, Surtain.
We drifted a little
Because
bit.
we all were sleeping a little bit
Yeah,
on
I
him.
picked Surtain too.
You did.
I
Did
pick
you?
Surtain,
You did.
Yeah, I said.
'Cause
Wait,
we
no, we
talked-
said Watt. I
Because
thought
of
we
the
said Watt. No?
I didn't say. I said.
Oh yeah, you know we
I
were
thought
talking
we
about
did
Watt
say
and the fumble
Watt. I thought I
recoveries.
said.
Yep, and the
I
fumble
know I
recoveries,
said
yep.
Watt.
Because Surtain, we were like cornerbacks don't get the run. It's hard to
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
at the numbers.
There's no stats for cornerbacks.
So
Yeah.
Surtain got it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's dope.
Jaden Daniels got Offensive Rookie of the Year.
We all agreed on that, right?
Now, did the original Surtain win that? Now
I don't know.
We have a father-son combination of both winning defensive
Oh,
players.
that's his son?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Surtain number 2.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was his
Number 2.
son. Oh wow,
Yeah, so
The
that's
second.
tough.
Yep.
Okay.
We can also talk about Hall of Fame class.
Oh, yep.
taking
Conspiracy theory.
We got 4 people went in. The max I can go in at 8. We
Okay,
got
go
4.
ahead. Go ahead. Let me hear
Got
something.
Jared Allen from Minnesota Vikings, Sterling Sharp and his brother, the first brother combination
Okay.
to get in. Eric Allen and Antonio Gates. That's a no-brainer.
So are all these guys
Those are the
going
4
in?
got in. Two notable
Who didn't?
exceptions.
Who didn't?
Adam Vinatieri and
Back to
Eli
what you were
Manning.
saying.
Eli Manning. Now,
Wow.
there's words out there that the New York media might have got a little wind that the Boston media wasn't going to vote for Eli. So in return, the New York media said, hey, you're not going to vote for Eli. We're not going to vote for Vinatieri.
They said F this guy.
Yeah, like, we're not going to put our
F
guy
that
in.
guy.
We're not going to put your guy in. So I personally,
You think that's what's going on here?
do you doubt the animosity between the Boston
Petty,
New York
petty,
market?
petty, petty.
It always is.
Well, who didn't vote for Jeter? Was it a Boston writer that didn't vote for
Are
Jeter?
you kidding me?
believe so.
Is that what we're
That was the
doing
one
here?
guy. That was the one guy. Yep. Damn.
That's what we're doing here.
Wow.
But,
So are you putting real quick? Are you putting Eli or or Vinatieri over the 4 guys that they put in?
No.
I wouldn't.
If
I'm
I was
being
gonna-
honest.
No.
If I was going to put a special teamer in, it would be Vinatieri. He won 3 Super Bowls. The first 3 Super Bowls, he won for them.
Is there a limit to how many they put in? Or no?
8.
Oh,
they
put-
didn't have to. There's always like an old timer going in. Sometimes there's a coach or a GM going in, stuff like that. But
I don't understand how this works. If you can put 8 guys in, they only
because the
put
8
in
guys
4.
don't deserve to be in.
Like what prompts you to not put the 5th or 6th? I don't know. What is it?
Well, what's the
It's-
voting threshold?
Is it votes or
Yeah, it's
something?
votes.
It's votes.
But I don't know. It's I don't know. It's like baseball. Like you have to have 75%.
That's
I don't
what it
know
was. It's the same
how that
thing as
works.
that, but it's it's votes, and there's also you spoke about the first ballot, second ballot, third ballot. Sometimes they'll hold them out the first time, let them in the next time because they deserve to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's a distinction. Personally, I think if you're in the Hall of Fame, you're in the Hall of Fame, whether it's first, second, third try. But no, a lot of people have their tiers of whether it's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Right, and then you get 10 tries to get in, which I think is ridiculous. I understand, like someone like Eli, it might be on that border. And next year, I don't think he's getting in because there's a lot of good candidates next year. And so then he gets kicked to a third year. And what do you go? You're going to get in if it's a weak class going in. So
So
if you're a Hall of Famer, you're not a Hall of Famer.
Let me rewind one quick thing.
Go ahead.
You just skimmed right over. Antonio Gates, automatic. Yeah, no. I'm not so sure about that.
You don't like the Gates thing?
I like the Gates thing.
Wow.
What did he win?
It's stats. A lot of things. Dan Marino's in there. He didn't win anything.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do
It's
with
stat-
Gates?
he's-
I
he's a
think
number
it's
3.
stats.
Yeah, stats.
He's that guy.
Yeah, stats.
And who was this guy? Philip Rivers was the guy
Yeah.
throwing
Yeah,
him the
Phil
ball.
Rivers.
And
The
he's-
number one
he's-
stat
he's
is
eligible.
Wins Super Bowl.
No,
Lombardi.
that's not to get in the Hall of Fame.
It helps. It helps. It
Really?
helps. Winners.
There's Barry Sanders in the Hall of Fame.
Well, you're not comparing Antonio
Yeah,
Gates
but
to Barry
Antonio
Sanders.
Gates
I'm
is
rocking with
third-
you.
Come on,
Antonio
Don't
Gates-
settle
do
down
that,
right now.
Pete.
Settle down.
I gotta rock with Scotty.
Position. Antonio Gates is the third highest receiving yards by a tight end.
That's tight end.
Who's ahead of him?
Now I know he's not going. Now next year is going to be
Yeah.
Jason Witten, who's the number 2 receiving yards and tight ends all time. Is Jason Witten not because he didn't win a
I
Super
don't know,
Bowl?
if we're going to sit here and start rattling off like top 5 tight ends,
Go
I'm
ahead,
not
do your
sure.
thing. Let us hear
I don't think
something,
we're going to
baby.
dive into that. That's
That's
a
what
deep
you're here
hole to
for.
go down
So-
right now.
but
But I'm
you're-
not sure where I'm putting Gates in that list.
Are you putting Vinatieri ahead of Gates or Eli ahead of Gates?
I'm putting Vinatieri ahead of Gates. I'm putting Vinatieri close to the top. I know he's a special teamer. That's his special teamer animosity, but not only for what he did with the Patriots, but he also won with the Colts. I mean, he made just from that kick against the Raiders in that first championship.
In the snow.
You didn't even in the snow. You didn't even see the kick. It was so low and
As
straight.
long as it
and
was within 40 yards, he was money.
He's money. He won 2 Super Bowls on kicks.
Are you putting Vinatieri ahead of Gates? Antonio Gates or Adam
I
Vinatieri?
mean, when you come down to him being clutch, I'm gonna have to say that, yeah.
Are you putting P?
No.
No. Why not?
Like I said, if it's comparing the 2, Gates is one of the best tight ends that's played.
Ever. But Vinatieri's one of the best kickers Am I
The
No,
best.
Ever.
I think I think they should have put Vinatieri in.
This is my argument. If you can put 8
not
guys,
over,
why
yeah.
not throw this guy in there?
I don't know. I think he deserves it.
I think
And then-
I think that gives some clout to that Boston,
Antonio
New
Gates had-
York conspiracy right there.
Little
12 12,000 yards, and he had 116 touchdowns, Gates.
Mike Vrabel had 5.
So next year's class includes Drew Brees,
He's getting in. First ballot.
Larry Fitzgerald,
First ballot.
Jason Witten,
First ballot.
Philip Rivers.
Wow.
Hall of Very Good.
You don't like him.
Philip? No, not a Hall of Fame.
He's not a first ballot? He's not a Hall of Famer at all.
What do you win?
It doesn't. There's a lot of people in the Hall of Fame that haven't won that have won the best.
mean,
But if
I
you're
understand that.
mediocre, you got to have some wins. If you're like on that line, you need some Super Bowls.
As a
You need some
quarterback,
rings.
I think Philip Rivers is better than
All right,
Eli
so
Manning.
this is a discussion I hate doing. I'm going to go to the NBA. Is Robert Horry a Hall of Famer? Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
We got to do it, baby. Is Robert Horry a Hall of Famer?
No, he's just the luckiest man.
my
Yeah,
point.
he's not a Hall of Famer. No.
You got it. It's something to be said. I mean, what were you going to say, Dave? You look like you was heating up.
Well, but here's my thing. Like for Philip Rivers, he played consistency with nobody. That's hard to do in the NFL. He played consistently, put up numbers with nobody around him outside of LT.
He was a better quarterback than
Well,
Eli.
Gates was there. We just
Gates,
said that,
LT.
right?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
who's the
but those
receiver
two.
during
But
that
I'm
time?
saying,
Go ahead.
Who was the Chargers receiver during that run? Did they have an alpha receiver?
I don't
Why can't
even
think of
remember. I
somebody
can't
off the top of my
remember.
head.
It probably is somebody we know. I just
They're
can't
probably
think of
missing
it.
somebody, but
Wow.
Another person up for it is Frank Gore,
He deserves it.
number 3 all-time rusher.
Never won a Super Bowl.
And the rushing list is Emmitt Smith with 18,000, Walter Payton with 16,000, and
Frank
I
Gore.
think Frank Gore is 100 yards behind.
one of
Walter
these
Payton.
kids is not like the others. You know.
So does your same theory apply with this
I
guy?
think if you're great,
You got to have a
you
chip.
gotta have it. If you're mediocre, if you're great, you can get in. If you're Barry Sanders, if you're number Dan Marino, then you can get in without the chip. But if you're on that line, you need a ring or two to push you, give you that extra little brotherly shove to get into the hall. You know.
The one,
This is gonna be. I feel like this has got to be one of those things to be continued.
Well,
At least that's how I feel.
we have to see what the actual written standards are for the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? And then there's I can't believe some of these people actually pushing Julian Edelman. Now here's going to be his argument with the rings, but
How many rings does the Edelman have?
Listen, Edelman.
He
That-
put the phone down. He put the phone down.
That drop by Kincaid from Buffalo, Edelman made that catch with a guy under him, a guy behind him, and 2 other guys pulling his legs, and he made that catch. All Kincaid had to do was
Go ahead,
catch it by
Dave. You look
himself.
like
He
you're
had to catch
fired
it by
up.
himself,
Go ahead,
and he
baby.
couldn't.
all right, but I mean, if we're gonna sit here and have that conversation without a chip, Matt Ryan,
Ooh.
Falcons quarterback, franchise.
right. No,
Is
nothing-
he a Hall of Famer though?
That's
Because
not.
it
That's that ATL burning up over
Oh.
there. There it is.
see for me, yes, he's a Hall of Famer. Because
can't.
he made
Matt Ryan is?
in my opinion, yes. Because he brought the franchise up over the years to have the fan base.
Debatable. That's
there
bias.
might
To have
be
the
some,
fan
there
base-
may be some bias there.
That's some
There
bias
is, oh, there's
going
definitely
on.
some bias, but I'm just saying
I thought
he.
we only had one bias guy.
But you-
But he elevated the franchise as a whole to where the fan base is, to the Falcons
he
are
definitely
actually.
has done that. Put him in the Falcons Hall of Fame.
Yeah, exactly. He also orchestrated.
That's what the Cowboys Ring of Honor is for Des Bryant, because he's going to be available.
Well,
Put Des Bryant in the
In the
Ring of
Cowboys
Honor.
Hall of Fame, that's
The Ring
it.
of Honor.
Ring of
that's what-
Honor.
yeah.
Oh,
Ryan also orchestrated the biggest choke in the history of the Super Bowl too. So
No, that
that's-
was
Who
Kyle
was?
Shanahan. That was not Matt Ryan. That was Kyle Shanahan.
Wait, wasn't Quinn there?
Yeah, Dan Quill's the head coach.
And Shanahan was the offensive coordinator. And he dropped the ball on that.
So before we wrap this up, because I know we're
Go
probably
ahead.
coming close, let's talk about the red carpet. Bill Belichick.
Billy B? We got to go there? We just
Yeah, I
want
wanna
to
go
To
there.
the left?
Yeah,
Why
I
do you
wanna
want
go
to
there.
go?
Why do I want to go there? I don't know. Can we see that?
Go a little bit closer. I want to see. little bit closer.
Ooh, that's a lot
Who
of
is
legs
that?
showing.
Who is that? Who is that? Who is the girl
That's
he's
his
with?
24-year-old hottie.
All right.
That's using him
I got no.
to start a career.
I got nothing to do with this, but go ahead. Tell me how you feel. What's
No,
going on?
you don't go. She could have wore a more conservative dress. She is trying to make a name for herself using Bill Belichick. You don't wear that type of dress with a 90-year-old guy. You're liable to give him a heart attack.
If you have that body, you do wear that type of dress.
Yeah, but she's looking for attention. She's looking to make a name for herself.
Absolutely.
To use him. She's in the Dunkin' Donuts commercial with him, with Ben Affleck
But
and everything.
is she clothed?
No, she actually wore a jacket in that one, I believe.
But you know what? I think there's a bigger thing at play here.
Go
You
ahead.
know, when you're looking at the NIL landscape in college football right now, Bill Belichick, I got a 24-year-old girlfriend. I'm at the Super Bowl. Like, you can have these things if you come with me at UNC. Because the Tar Heels, historically in college football, have been garbage.
They're not that good.
So you're saying he's pulling young talent and he's showing them that I can get young talent.
He's showing his ability to pull talent. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean,
You think this is some mastermind scheme going on?
I mean, she's playing her game. He's playing his game.
Everybody's
You know
playing
what I'm
the
saying?
game.
We'll see. You know what? Have me
Exactly.
back next year, and we'll talk about this when, he's going deep.
Paul says she's using him. She's using him. If I'm Billy B, use me, baby. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm sure. Do you think he's upset about being used? I think he's going to bed.
No,
with
but
the
she's
big
being.
smile
I
every
just
night.
think he's so obvious about it.
Oh, so
like, so you know what I
obvious.
mean?
So obvious.
You could do it a little more subtly than she's doing.
Okay, so is there something wrong with what's going on here?
No, if they're both consenting, if he's not a doddering old man and knows
How old
what's
is she?
going
How
on.
old is she? How old is she?
24.
24.
It's 50 years difference. 50 years difference.
That's tough.
Now you know I sometimes like him on the younger side.
tough.
That's ridiculous.
What's the rule? The rule is, or the supposed rule is, half your age plus 7.
Yeah.
is
Oh,
the
you Muslim?
limit.
Are you Muslim?
That's supposedly the rule. Is half your age
No,
plus
that's the
7
virgin-
is the
that's the 100
socially.
virgins thing.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's some kind of religious thing too, if I'm not mistaken. I
I
could
think
be
it's a
wrong.
socially acceptable
Yeah.
Miss Manners thing is half your age plus 7 is the limit. You're not supposed to.
Does that look crazy to you? Let's be honest.
Well, I think people of those stature definitely get to bend the rules more than other folks, because if I'm running around, I'm 40, so if I'm running around with a 20-year-old right now,
You'll look crazy.
Everybody looking at me like, yo,
Is that your
what's wrong
daughter?
with you? You know, or even 18. We'll even just say 18, just for the sake of to make it as
Make the-
make it as
legally,
big
yeah.
as it can.
Yeah.
It,
It looks
everybody
crazy.
looks
No,
at me nuts.
I
you
did
know?
that once. Was I went on a date with Shania, first date ever, and the server comes up and there's a mother and the kids. He takes them to their table, and me and this girl are standing there, and he comes back and he's like, 2? Because he did not know if we were together.
Wow.
Does it look crazy?
Of all the things going on in the world right now,
No.
is
No.
that the craziest thing?
No.
Is that what we got to focus on?
You're right. You're right.
know.
Well, he wanted to
But
bring
no,
it
I
in.
just thought
He
it was
wanted
an
to bring
interesting,
it in. I
interesting
was-
topic.
Oh, absolutely. Number one thing talking
And
about on the radio.
it tied into the NFL honors. I mean, we're on topic.
Honors.
So that's his honors.
Yeah.
So they gave up the pimp award. They do
Billy
that at the
B.
end? He gets it.
Billy B. Lifetime Achievement right there.
Pimping, baby.
They gave him a,
Billy B, come on up. He slides up.
did they give him a pimp chalice? Man,
Pimpin' ain't easy.
Wow. Okay, Daddy. Yo, episode 68 is really good. We're gonna come back on the opposite side.
bring it down.
We're gonna bring it down a little bit. I'm gonna let Dave. You gonna talk about the Super Bowl a little bit? You wanna talk about Kendrick or no?
I mean, we can definitely talk about Kendrick.
Oh.
Alright.
I don't know if everybody's ready for that conversation, but we can definitely have it.
So we're gonna start maybe there and some kind of segue to the game because I got a few things I want to say.
We may not have time for the game though. We might
know.
Episode 68 from the ad.
I mean, we all saw the Super Bowl. We all saw that drubbing that Kansas City took. I think that was not really to be expected, given the two teams that were going into it.
Yes.
I think everybody kind of thought it'd be a much closer game. I think for me, outside of the game, I mean, the halftime show, there's a lot to unpack in that halftime show.
You want to jump on that real quick?
All right.
Give me your opinion.
In my opinion, I think it was very theatrical. I think it was very well thought out. I think it definitely sent a message to not only the haters, but also his greatest supporters. I mean,
okay.
You shut down Drake, but you also send a subliminal message to the rest of the country about current political things that I won't necessarily get into because, we're
talking about sports.
Yeah, sports. But
I do feel the commercials were too.
Yeah.
They
but
had an agenda.
if you're going to take the biggest stage and make a statement, you made your statement.
Wow, I got goosebumps. You just said that.
I mean,
I'm not even lying.
I got
Look
them
at
too.
that.
You made your statement. And for me, for all the people that wanted to sit there and be like, oh, it's more, I think it went right over their head.
Is that what you? That's
Oh,
what
it
you
went right over their head.
I understand what he did and the importance of what he did and how he did it. I was just bored by it. I was actually bored by a lot of the game. The stuff. I don't know. It just didn't
wasn't
feel
good
like
for
the
you.
energy was there for the whole game.
I think people were upset with seeing, to be honest, the Eagles and the Chiefs again too.
Yeah, a lot of people were hoping for Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit, Buffalo.
Something
everyone wanted to see
different.
that,
I think that right off the rip, and then I rock with you on that, P.
Because they're hard fan bases to get behind.
Yeah.
It's hard to, nobody wants to see the Chiefs win again.
Again.
And the Eagles, the fans are just the fans.
Don't do
just,
that.
Not you.
Don't do that.
But you know how
Don't
Eagles
do that.
fans.
Yep.
Don't
they-
do that.
Every fan base has those fans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they have more of those fans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more
You
intense.
look
take
at
to
look at
another
Philly
level.
right now. It looks like a war zone, and you don't know if they won or lost.
But I mean,
Go ahead, David.
with that being said, I mean, 24-0. I mean, what they had less than 20 yards, 24 yards going in, total yards.
Go ahead, get into
going
it.
into halftime.
Let us know. Let us hear something.
Like, not only are we talking about one of the greatest defensive first halves of the Super Bowl,
Wow.
and I even hate to say it because my team fumbled that, but
28-3.
yeah, thank you, sir, thank you. Speaking of Belichick's girlfriend, anyway, but I mean, to sit there and to shut them down, I mean, Mahomes looked like he just had no clue.
No answer.
There
No
was
answer.
nobody. Kelsey wasn't getting open. I mean, yeah, they shut down Barkley, but I feel like them shutting down Barkley hamstrung them because the next thing you know, Hurts is out here throwing dime,
Cooking them.
one-on-one coverage on the outside and just cooking them left and right, front and center.
And running when he needed to.
Go ahead, Scotty. What'd you see?
Hurts. The
What'd
best
you
thing- Jalen Hurts was awesome to watch. He was great to watch. That was, for me, the Super Bowl, just pulling the ball down and running it when you needed to, when they needed you to. Gaining a 30-yard run, a 20-yard run, picking up that first down when you needed to, throwing the dime down the sideline. And even that, we're not even going to go into the refs thing, because that balanced out with that A.J. Brown offensive pass interference. But Jalen Hurts was awesome. He was truly a NFL quarterback that I was entertained just by watching Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia defensive line. We were discussing it by text message during the game. MVP, Hurts, or you got to try to find somebody on that Philly defensive line. But that was the entertaining part of the game.
No,
I mean,
I
Sweat.
know. Go ahead, go
Sweat.
ahead.
Sorry, Sweat. I mean, what do you have? Like 3 or 4 sacks?
He
I
was
mean,
in
and these
Yeah,
are
2.5,
non-blitz
I know.
packages.
Yeah.
Just
Sweat
just
has-
coming in.
In the backfield.
Sweat had 6 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and 2 tackles for loss. That's a big game right there.
Yeah.
Know what I wanted to bring up, which you called this too, Scott. They were throwing the ball to Saquon out of the backfield.
I said that last week. He
You
hadn't been
said
catching
that.
The only other time that they used Saquon to catch the ball was against the Rams.
Yeah.
They pulled that out when that
When the
offensive line's
run
pushing,
was
yep.
kind of staggering, so they're like, okay, we'll do the little dink and dunk stuff. And they were doing that with him.
Yep. Barkley receiving
He has a decent amount of numbers.
six catches, 40 yards for longest of a 22 yards. 7 targets. It's 7 targets. He led the Eagles in targets.
So if you totality together, he's still close to 100, rushing and receiving. Like
yeah.
you gotta do it that way.
But
he still kind of gouges you. And
97 yards total yards.
There's
97
another
total
thing
yards.
people weren't talking about. He was blocking on key plays.
Yeah.
Huge
A
blocks.
couple of those when I'm not Saquon, when the Hurts took off, they went back and I'm like, oh shoot, that's Saquon on that block.
Yep. He sprung them a couple times.
But
I
if you
don't
looked,
know.
if you before the game, someone looked at you and goes, "Saquon's gonna have 25 carries for 2.3 yards a carry," you would have been like, "Ooh, that's trouble.
We're lost. We're gonna
in
lose."
trouble."
Yeah.
Okay, over to you. What'd you see?
I think that game turned on that turnover at the 10-yard line when it was 17-0. There's a huge. I mean, if you could have somehow, you're 17-0, you get the ball back before. If you could score before halftime, it's a 17-7 game. Now you get the ball back at the beginning of the second half. You could make this game a one-score game. It never happened after that. They couldn't move the ball at all. I don't think it was going to happen. But at that point, you just went from 17-0 where you could have scored, and then it went down 24-0.
and you got the ball
Out of
back,
nowhere.
right?
Yeah.
They were
And
supposed to get the ball
No,
back.
Kansas City got the ball back at the
But that's what I'm
second
saying.
half.
If you're
Yeah.
saying if they score there
Scored it at 17-7.
and get the ball back,
To tie the game.
You
To tie
could
the game.
you go 17. It would be 17-14. You can get back down the field. Now it's a totally different game. You're playing differently. Maybe there's more confidence with Kansas City. You know what I mean? If they could have, but I think that gutted him.
Kansas City abandoned the run.
Yeah.
They gave up on the run
Jesus,
right
yeah.
away. It was tough.
well, it's
How bad they
tough because I feel like
Hunt-
when you're down
Yeah, they didn't
early,
touch Kareem Hunt. They didn't use him at all.
when you're
Kareem
down
Hunt.
early though, your game plan changes like real quick. Say I'm down 7-0, right?
Yeah, but 17-0 shouldn't change your game plan.
Who led?
No, I can't rock with you on that.
Yeah.
You gotta pass the ball because you're playing catch up.
With Mahomes
Not that-
17, that's too soon.
That's the
Too
second
soon to
quarter.
give
That
up
was
on-
the first
yeah.
quarter,
No,
second quarter.
you're saying that they abandoned the run. I'm telling you why.
Yeah, but they weren't
too
down big enough,
Plus-
late enough
Go ahead, go
to abandon the run.
Plus,
right?
you needed to keep running the ball to give your defense a rest.
Rest.
You need to hold the ball, control the ball, let your defense rest a little bit. You go out there, pass, 3 and out. Your defense is back on the field already.
It was too early. It was too
I
early
don't
to
know if
abandon
I
the
could-
run.
And you gotta,
Okay.
but you got to eat some clock too.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, I know it's still early in the game. You're not necessarily trying to eat clock. We all get that. But to completely just to say, you know what, that's not working. We're going to completely give it up. Look what he got him.
Interesting point. Do you think they realized that you weren't running against that front four? You just were not. You weren't. They knew this.
You have to keep trying, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm saying what they tried was their bread and butter. What they were known for. Mahomes moving around, creating plays downfield, and that wasn't
But
working
you,
either.
but you couldn't run, and you kept trying 25 carries. That's why you had it's 36-minute to 23-minute time of possession.
Your defense is exhausted at that
You
point.
can't.
You put them back out there. They just still have their hands on their hips. You know?
So you're the coach. You're still trying to run against that.
Yeah.
They're saying that's Andy
Yeah,
Reid's biggest
because
mistake.
if you look at the game that Sweat had, that front four for Philly had, I mean, you've got to at least try and throw something at them that's going to keep
But the
them from
point
getting
is,
to
it's happening
Mahomes.
too fast. It's too fast. They were in the backfield
Yeah.
all game,
All game.
all game.
Then start doing some outside sweeps.
They were coming
Yeah,
up with
like I
no
said,
field,
it was 17-0 until a couple of minutes before halftime, before that interception that Mahomes threw. You're in that game. You don't have to abandon the run game. You don't
We're
have
looking
to.
at this. I'm looking at this, and I'm trying not to be a jerk because I am a natural jerk. It just was a beatdown to me.
It was. It was.
In
85
my
Bears,
eyes, I'm not
Patriots.
looking at it like they could have. I don't think there's anything they could have did.
No, I said they didn't.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to happen. I'm just saying.
And I think they knew it. When you see the camera looking at these guys on the sideline, when you seen Kelsey's face, you see Mahomes' face, they were broken.
Yep.
I don't care what anybody says, and I've gotten my ass kicked, and I know when I can't beat somebody. I just know it from off rip. This guy's gonna kick my ass.
Yeah, but I mean, they had their number the entire game. It was like they had the playbook.
That's my point.
The
There's
whole
nothing.
time.
I'm not sitting there saying they could have. To me, it looked like there's nothing. Anything like you said, the Kendrick thing. He had the cheat code. Philly had the cheat code in the game.
Well, that should have been that MVP should have been the front four.
Ooh, I can't.
No
rock with you
blitzing
on
on. No, they
that.
didn't
Yo,
even
why
need
is
to
this guy
blitz.
stay hating on me, man?
Why am I
No, but
hating?
we're gonna go to the grave on
I'm
this.
giving you.
But
I'm
he's
giving
got
you.
a point. He's got a valid point. They
MVP
blitzed,
is
what,
one
twice?
person,
I
not
know.
a group of dudes.
But that defense, especially that front four, where you didn't even have to blitz to get pressure, was the key to that game.
I mean, how many
Jalen
blitzes
Hurts
did
was not
they?
the key
How
to
many
that game.
blitzes did they have? What, 2 or 3 throughout the entire
You said
game?
he's not.
He's
Philly
what?
had
No,
zero
he wasn't the
blitzes for
key
the
to
game.
that game. That defense was the key
Oh,
to
I
that game.
can't rock with
Okay,
you.
let me tell you.
Do your dance. Do your dance, Scotty.
With what you said about the total domination and knowing when you're beat, the point where Kansas City, in my mind, broke was the brotherly shove.
Ooh.
Kansas City against Buffalo stopped it 3 or 4 times, got the turnovers down. They had a little swagger going. You can't run. You can't brotherly
You
shove.
can't
up.
do
You
it against the
not
guys
against
that
us.
invented it.
We can stop. And Philly just showed them that wasn't what
We're
Buffalo
the reason
doing.
why this
Wasn't yeah.
exists.
Buffalo doing was not the brotherly shove. This is how
The
it's
real
done.
deal.
And they went right 4 yards. They pushed that ball into the end zone and just.
To you, that's when
That
they
was the
broke.
moment. That was the moment Kansas City went, uh-oh, we don't have this. We don't have this.
Wow.
In my mind, that was just a change.
And this takes me back to the Giants with Eli. That front four,
You're saying
That
the straight
year.
hand, yeah.
Yeah.
the straight hand.
OC,
Yeah.
Yura,
What's his name?
the guy that blew his finger off
Bring it
too.
up. Yeah.
Pierre
that
or
was
something.
Yeah,
that line allowed the team, especially that defense, when you could, especially against Brady, if you could just rush 4 and get pressure on Brady, and you can drop everybody else back.
That's the only. That's the. Yeah.
That's the key. that
No,
was
but
the key.
That's the
here's what I'm
formula.
gonna say. It's a good comparison, but Brady made adjustments. He still got his. He still did something, and Brady wasn't mobile like Mahomes.
Yeah.
Mahomes is mobile. He can move around. He had more options. Like you, I don't know. They just were
I
beaten.
mean, I hate to say this,
Go ahead,
but,
do your dance.
and I'm not a fan of Brady, obviously, as a Falcons fan, but
Yeah.
making adjustments shows the caliber player that Tom Brady is.
Wow.
He never got blown out. He
I
never
mean,
got
when
blown
you
out
when
once.
you when
never
you look
blew,
at
never blew him
Mahomes,
out and never got blown out.
but Mahomes looked puzzled, befuddled, even with
He had no
he's
clue.
got a dual threat. He can throw and run, and he couldn't do either.
Use none of the tools.
They were in on him so fast.
They were broken. They were beaten. And this is my synopsis on it. I'm okay with how we won, but after a while, I said this. I'm like, fight back.
Yeah.
Fight back. Show me something. Show me why you're in it for the 3rd time. They didn't. They had nothing.
Nothing.
They had nothing. It was awful. After a while, like while I'm sitting in it, and I always say this, I'm like, yeah. But then after I watched the whole game, and I looked at it, I go, this is not. I know this is not what the NFL wants
Oh no, absolutely.
for the last game.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Because this is a question that was asked of me as a Patriots fan a few times. What would you prefer? Okay, say your Eagles are going back next year. You're gonna make the Super Bowl again. Are you happier with a blowout like that, where you know you can enjoy the whole day and it's just you got the win and you just soaked in enjoying it, or would you prefer to watch a close game where at the very end it could go either way?
I'm that guy, the second guy. I just am. Like, I love my team. I'm loyal to my team, but I love the sport, if that makes any sense.
Total sense.
I love football. The craft, everything. I love what it is. The last game shouldn't be for the next, how many months? 5, 6 months before we see another football? Unless you're into the UFL, people. I want it to be, okay, this is a good game. This was a mismatch.
Yeah, him and I are different on this.
This is
'Cause
a
we were talking
mismatch.
this before we started. The Cowboys fan, that 92 Super Bowl, when they won 52-17,
Yeah.
I was jumping up and down the whole way.
Do you like
Thoroughly
stomping
enjoyed
somebody
that.
out?
I mean, I'm the wrong person to ask.
I'm asking
Because
you.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Let
You're
me
up
hear
20.
something.
You're up 28-3.
Yes.
All right.
Oh,
Like, no, but for
were
real, like,
stopping
I was
somebody
the
else.
happiest person in the world. And my friend gave me a hug and was like, yo, we did it. And
It's
I was
over.
like, yo, if you don't get your crusty hands off of me, because I've been around long enough to know that,
No.
like, the game wasn't over.
okay.
So, like, for me, it depends on how you look at it. Do I like a stomp out? Depends on who the two teams are. You know, I mean, if we're talking about, you know,
The Chiefs deserve to get stomped out.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I got so sick of hearing about them winning because of the refs. And then them crying and complaining, and the Travis Swift
That's
thing,
valid.
you
That's
know,
so valid what
the
you're
Travis
saying.
Kelsey and the Swift and all the attention. Now, don't get me wrong, to three-peat, to like go to the Super Bowl, because they started the season back with the other 31 teams at the bottom.
Okay.
They weren't given the season, but at the same time, to see them be blown out in the Super Bowl, that was refreshing for me. But also to see them get beat in all three phases: offense, defense, and special teams.
Wow.
Because they wasn't doing nothing. That front four had them licked the entire time. Hurts and even Saquon, like you said, with the blocks and just knowing, like, know your role. Like, Saquon wasn't running, but he still was able to contribute in multiple facets to sit there and do that. But also the special teams. I mean, that onside kick,
Yeah.
even with the little bit of time, you know,
They came up.
you had a chance to get that ball back. And my man's grabbed the ball and went right to the ground. Like, that's just knowing what
Did
you
his
need
job.
to do.
Did his job.
That's valid what you're saying.
You're not your typical Eagles fan either.
What do you mean?
Like, I can't see you at the game throwing batteries at people.
Throw batteries at Santa Claus.
Snowballs at Santa Claus. That's not you.
All right, let me ask you guys. So, tired of the Chiefs, but who do you think right now? I checked on my way over. Who do you think the best odds for winning the next Super Bowl are?
Probably Kansas City.
Are you serious?
Kansas City Chiefs and the Ravens are 1 and 2 for the highest odds to win the next Super Bowl, followed by Buffalo and the Eagles. But 1 and 2.
Kansas City's won?
1.
They have too many holes. Like, they got exposed. What can they do in this draft or whatever?
We had this thing all season when all these, I said to you, if they lost all these one-score games, they would be at the bottom of the league. All season, you were like,
All right, but that's the reason why I do that. This isn't horseshoes. We don't do what ifs because they were winning those games.
They were winning those games.
Can I agree? Can we agree?
And you exposed them.
You think they got exposed in the Super Bowl?
They got exposed like Wizard of Oz exposed.
You don't. Okay, so we're arguing what Philly did to them. You don't think there was a level of we can just show up and this will be handed to us from Kansas City? You don't think their arrogance got the best of them a little bit?
Don't get me wrong. That first pass interference call, I was sitting there. I was like,
Here we go.
Here we go.
The fix is in.
Right, but then
They made it up. They
made it up.
They made up the play.
I hate those. I hate these makeup stuff. The makeup calls.
But I mean, I will say, after looking at it though, I mean, it was hands to the face. So
Okay. Do you call that though in the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
Do you call that?
If you hadn't had the offensive pass interference, the series before, that doesn't get called. That's a total makeup call. The refs did not want to hear that storyline afterwards that we gave them the game. That was a total makeup call. Rebalance the field. Let's start over.
Then the refs are like, oh, wait a minute. They're not going to need us because they don't have a chance today.
Yeah, then it's totally taken. The script changed after that.
Wow.
The refs did not want to be the script.
I mean, but who's the dark horse next year though? That's the question.
Is that what we're doing?
Because Tampa Bay's
We
not.
can't even enjoy it.
I'm not saying.
We can't even let it cook. We're already. That's how I hate we're watching. Like they said they do right away too. I see pictures of Dak, Lamar,
Yeah.
Josh Allen, all these cats, and they're like, "Oh, what do you think about?" I'm like, "Yo, slow down."
Yeah, nobody said the Cowboys' name,
No,
in
but
like 5 days. So
there's a thing about odds next year, and they had Dak as the picture, and I'm like, I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh man, so Chiefs are number one again,
number one again. Come on.
I don't
and
know.
then they wonder why people hate them.
They
I
need
don't
to-
see them being number one next year.
They need to do some work on their offensive line.
Huge.
That's for sure.
Joe Tooney's not your starting left tackle. You need to improve there.
But we also have to see who comes back.
From these teams.
Well, just from the Chiefs. I mean, does Kelsey come back?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, he's building an empire with Taylor Swift. So,
And his brother.
and
and his
she's
brother.
renovating the house. So, like, at the same time,
Without getting too that looks shaky to me.
I'm
That's
just
my
saying
opinion.
he may not come
Not
back.
on her end, because I feel like she is. It's just him. I feel like he's a wild card.
He's got a little dog in him.
Yeah,
He's got some dog in him.
You can see, like, being a old school dog myself, I know like there's allegiance. I see what's going on here, but wow.
But I mean, but you also have to look at life after football. I mean,
rocking with
he's
you.
already got two. He's got 2 rings. What else does he really need to prove? I mean, at this point, is he a Hall of Famer?
Oh,
Yeah.
first ballot, yeah, walk right in.
So-
Yeah,
Is he?
I think he's like
Kelsey?
fifth. I think he's like 5th in yardage, on top of the Super Bowls.
Is he?
So I mean, that right there. I
Super
mean, what
Bowl's
else do you
put on
what
top.
else do you have to prove? Because you're not going to play another 3 years to get a 3-peat, like to try and seal that.
Yeah, the only way he's playing is because of Patrick.
Yeah.
So in your mind, they're not getting back.
No.
What are you saying?
They revamped the line. Yeah, Mahomes is young. He's not even 30 yet. Yeah, they can get back. They get back next year. They can get back any year for the next 10
Somebody in the
years.
AFC has to prove they can beat them.
Yeah, exactly.
And nobody
Who's going to
has.
step up? I can't wait to see Sweat wearing a Patriots jersey next year.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I mean, what, Denver maybe? I mean, Bo Nix plays the way he did.
Are they beating the Chiefs?
They blew him out. Did they not?
Oh, that was garbage time end of the year. That was mailed
yeah.
in. Yeah.
I can't rock with you on that.
Okay, but I mean, I'm sorry, and it may be garbage time, but if I'm not mistaken, unless I was like hallucinating, wasn't that score like 34-0? That they like beat Kansas City, and yeah, it may be garbage time at the end of the season.
Yeah, well,
But
they
if
weren't
Denver
playing
did
anybody.
that,
It was.
Denver did that to the Chiefs. That's
There's nothing on the
I'm
line there.
surprised you're grabbing Denver. There's no other AFC
It's-
team that
it-
you think.
It's still the Bills and the. And
I still think it's
Ravens.
Bills or
Ravens,
Ravens.
yeah.
Bills,
look,
Ravens.
I'm a dark horse kid. Okay, so like I think Denver's got a lot of pieces in place. I think if Bo Nix is able to put up and play like he did this past season as a rookie,
Well,
He's
could be.
got-
You
he's
got to
got
worry
some-
about that
I can't
sophomore
rock
slump
with you
too.
on that.
Yeah.
Second year.
They
it's
still
hard.
got a ways
They
to
get
go.
the book on you, and
They're not leapfrogging Buffalo or
It's a
Ravens,
tough
I don't
division.
think-
That's a
I don't
tough
think
division
yet.
too.
Yeah, but
You
they
get
gotta-
the Chargers,
but they
and you
get-
got the Raiders, and you got the Chiefs in your division. That's a tough division.
Yeah,
Tough division.
well, I forget that Pete Carroll's coming to the Raiders too.
that's
so
a
we'll see
light
what
grab.
happens.
What else?
That's not much. I think we covered everything. I didn't want to congratulate my boy here.
Yeah, congratulations, Coop.
Thanks a lot.
Enjoy it. Drink it in.
It hurts, but
I will say this though. I'm gonna put it out here though. I think the Falcons make a deep run next year.
Wait, what?
That's my last thing. I
Yo, wait, back up. Just when I thought
gonna-
you were this Cowboys guy, I can't.
it's gonna be Cowboys.
I
in
couldn't
Atlanta in the
believe-
NFC
I can't-
Championship
I
game.
do with you, and then this guy with the Atlanta stuff. I don't know. He got you beat, P.
I think so.
He couldn't Atlanta every. Yo, this is what this Matt Ryan. Super Bowl. What's up? Really? It's running through your
Love to
veins.
see it. Love to see the loyalty.
Look, I have been, like
your
I said,
team.
I have been a fan for 34 years now.
You're a rider.
Right, I'm a Dirty Bird for life, man.
Okay.
Okay, I'll get out here. So I mean, I was doing the Dirty Bird back in '98. Okay,
Jamal Anderson.
I'll never forget when they made that field goal to go into the '98, and then watch them get blown out by Denver against John
Ooh,
Elway.
I do remember that.
Okay, but like.
Who they beat? Minnesota? Was
Yes,
it Minnesota?
Minnesota 15-2. We
I
were 14-1
remember that.
going into that
Was
game.
it also in Minnesota?
Yes, that was one of the most stacked teams that Minnesota
Randall
had.
Cunningham? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
was it
Ken-
Randall?
Cunningham,
Yeah.
Wow. And you guys,
and then we went right back down. We had to deal with Vic.
yes.
Okay, we had the dogfighting scandal. Then we got Matt Ryan, who to me was, I'm sorry,
Boston College.
Boston College. Eagle.
Hall of Fame quarterback.
Debatable.
Which
You
is
had
fine.
to close his laptop on that one.
which is fine, but I think people are gonna sleep on him. Tampa Bay's not gonna have Liam Cohen as their offensive coordinator. He's
Winnable
going
division.
to
Winnable
he's going
division.
to the Jags, the Saints. You know, I mean, it really depends on what happens, but I think they're the dark horse. I think they make a deep run.
All right, we're milking it.
I'll be back next February.
Any last words? What you got to say for yourself? What you got to say to anybody?
Man, ATL for life.
Scotty, what you got?
You know, just it's this is the tough time, man. It's a tough time. You gotta enjoy the NBA, enjoy the NHL for a couple months.
What
and
about baseball?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to just every night, you turn the TV on, you got a baseball game. I love that, the consistency of baseball. I'm not a huge baseball fan, but it's a comfortable feeling. Every night,
There's a
click
game
on
on.
the set, there's a game on,
There's nothing
An
better than
8-hour
the game.
game.
Yeah. No, they're way down
They
now.
broke it down.
They're under 3 hours now.
Yeah, but there's nothing
Even-
better than the game at Fenway, though.
Even the Yankees, Red Sox.
Summer night.
Besides
in Boston.
the physical sitting there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
turn sideways, the
Yeah,
seat
like
this big, and the
this.
thing's over there. Yeah.
What's this dripping on my head? Ooh, P.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. You know what you gotta do. Anything? What you got to say? Anything?
Nothing.
You got
Congratulations
no more
again,
hate.
once
No
again.
more hate left.
We're coming for you next year, though. Enjoy this now. Washington, Dallas, they're all coming for. I ain't saying the Giants, 'cause Giants ain't coming for anybody.
Who was 68, Scotty? Who was he?
Yamir Yaga.
The Yaga.
The
My
Yags,
man.
the mullet, the Oakleys.
What he said.
The IROC.
Yamir Yaga. Like, share, and subscribe. Comeback Kings, episode 68. Peace.